What's up everybody, it's your girl Something Flavor. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we do really amazing transformations like turning a really fuzzy blanket into your new favorite pair of sweatpants. So if you would like to be as comfy as cozy as I am, just keep on watching.
Something Flavor.
Getting right into the video, you're going to need a fuzzy blanket for this project and a pair of sweatpants that you like the fit of. And using those sweatpants as the pattern, fold them in half and tuck away this extra bit of fabric right here because it's actually for the back pattern piece. And right now we're working on the front pattern piece, so just tuck that back, and this is what we're going to use as our pattern. So going back to the blanket, fold it over so that you're cutting on 2 layers of fabric. And place the sweatpants down from the edge a few inches so there's enough room for the waistband. Trace her out, leaving a little bit of room for seam allowance, and then cut her out. Once the front pieces are cut out, it's time to work on the back pieces. So using the same sweatpants that we used for the pattern earlier, just take out the extra bit of fabric that we pushed in. And this is going to allow room for the curvature of our butt, so make sure you get those extra inches in there. And then trace that out using some seam allowance and cut her out. Now we get to start playing matchmaker and start joining them together. So we're going to take the front and back pattern pieces of the pants and place them right sides facing each other, and then sew up on the little curve there. And because our fabric is a nice cozy blanket that is going to fuzz everywhere, I am using an overlock stitch for this project. And if you don't have that stitch, don't worry, I will show you what to do in just a moment. This is what those stitches are looking like, and then for the extra bit of fabric on the side, just cut it off. And for all my peoples that don't have an overlock setting on their machine, don't worry, I got you. Just set your machine to your regular zigzag stitch and sew down like normal, but the only difference with this fabric is you're going to have to go back and sew another zigzag stitch over the edges. And now your pants are secured as if you had used an overlock stitch. Now we're going to take it back to the blanket because I decided I want to put in some pockets. So fold over the fabric so that you're cutting on double layer. And using the same pair of sweatpants as before, use that as the new pattern for our new pockets. And once the first set is cut out, use that as the pattern to cut out the second set, so we have 4 layers of fabric. To figure out where to place the pockets onto your pants, just measure the elastic that you're using for the waistband. Double that number and place the pockets a little bit below that. So in my case, my waistband is 1.5 inches wide, so I know I'm going to need at least 3 inches for the waistband. So I decided to place my pockets 5 inches from the top. And to make the inside of the pockets match the inside of the pants, make sure your pants are right side facing up and your pockets are wrong side facing down, and sew like normal. Now you're going to give it a good top stitch, but make sure that this underneath seam right here is pointing in the direction of the pocket, and this is going to make it lay nice and flat. Once you're finished sewing on all of your pockets, Join the front and back pieces of our pants, right sides facing together, and sew down the sides, past the pocket, go back up and around, and then down the rest of the leg, and then repeat the same thing for the other side. So just remember to sew past the pocket, backstitch, and then pivot so that you can sew around the edge of the pockets. And remember to do the same thing at the bottom of the pocket. Make sure you pass it, sew back up, and then sew down the rest of the leg. Once you've sewn both outsides of the legs, then it's time to do the inside. Align the front and back crotch pieces of the pants. The back is going to be a bit longer than the front, but it's supposed to be that way. Just match them up and pin. And then sew starting from the crotch down the inside of the leg, and then same way with the other side. Now we're going to attach our elastic waistband. And if you're attempting this at home, you will be covered in fuzzies just like I am here. But take your elastic and wrap it around your waist, and this is where you will cut. Just make sure that you're still able to pull it down over your butt. So we're going to sew the elastic completely around the waistband, but when we do so, we're going to stretch it so that it fits around the whole waist. When you're sewing this, take your time and make sure that you're pulling the elastic from the front and from the back. And when you finally make it to the other side, just sew down the side seam so the elastic stays together forever like Linda and Heather. To finish off the waistband, flip the edge over and sew all the way around with a straight stitch, but just like every other time, make sure you stretch it while you sew. And finally, last but absolutely not least, we're going to turn the bottom of the pants into some joggers. With some thinner elastic, we're going to do exactly what we did with the waistband to the bottom. So sew on the elastic and just make sure you're stretching it while you sew. And once that's on, just flip over the edges and sew a straight stitch all the way around, making sure you're stretching that elastic again. This is what the bottoms are looking like. And boom, here is the final product. If you were thinking about making these pants, you need to start like right now, because these are the comfiest and the warmest pants I've ever owned in my life. I've been living in them ever since I sewed them, and I'm about to make a pair in every single color because that's how comfy and cozy these are. These pants are really the only thing that's going to be getting me through this winter, so I hope they help you guys out as well. If you have any questions, as always, just leave them below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up and the bell for notifications every time I post. And thank you guys so much for watching.